So footage was posted online of a scuffle at an immigration court in Lower Manhattan involving an ICE officer.
A scuffle.
And a woman named Monica Moreta Galarraza. The woman is apparently not an American citizen. Neither is her husband. And when ICE agents detained her husband, Monica had a meltdown. And here's footage that went viral, which was posted by a reporter from...
Yeah, dude, you're being separated from your spouse. I'm sure you're not going to be happy about that, you idiot.
ProPublica, the left-wing outlet that specializes in hit pieces against conservatives, and particularly against conservative Supreme Court justices. Now they've moved on to ICE agents. And so this is the footage that they put out. Watch.
He hates when conservatives are being held accountable.
Oh, come on, man. Come on.
As you can see, all the reporters are eagerly taking pictures. They were all looking for a moment like this, which they could use to spread the narrative that ICE is randomly attacking innocent women for no reason. And of course, to that end, the footage from this ProPublica reporter starts after the ICE agent is already pushing the woman. So we have no context whatsoever. We have no information about what led up to it, which is everything. You cannot make any judgment at all without knowing what led up to an incident like this. So it's obviously a misleading clip. It's intended to provide ammunition to leftists who want open borders, and that's not a surprise. And we expect this kind of dishonesty from these people. What we don't expect, and what we shouldn't tolerate, is that, and what we shouldn't expect anyway, although maybe some people do, is that the Trump administration would fall for this propaganda, but they did. In response to an inquiry from CNN, DHS folded immediately. This is a statement from DHS, officially, okay, from their spokeswoman. Quote, "The officer's conduct in this video is unacceptable and beneath the men and women of ICE." That's according to Department of Homeland Security Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin.
It's not beneath ICE, by the way. They've done this repeatedly. They recently beat a woman unconscious, an American citizen, by the way, for filming ICE's raids.
On Friday, our ICE law enforcement are held to the highest professional standards, and this officer is being relieved of current duties as we conduct a full investigation. Now, obviously, this statement was an immediate propaganda victory for the entire left-wing media. It became a rallying cry for the communists on Reddit who are calling for ICE officers to be murdered. And the message to rank-and-file ICE officers couldn't be any more clear. Your superiors don't have your back. They don't care if you're forced to defend yourself against criminal illegal aliens. They will throw you under the bus.
Right, because she was obviously a clear and immediate threat to his life. Get your head out of your ass, Matt.
At a moment's notice. Now, here's a longer clip of this incident, which actually provides some meaningful context. ICE, of course, had access to this footage when they suspended the agent and when they put out that statement, but they ignored it, apparently. Watch. Now, as you can see from this clip, the woman puts her hands on the...
Matt likes this, by the way.
ICE officer multiple times. She corners him.
She corners him. Man, he will do anything. He will say anything to justify ramming this woman to the ground. And you can see her head hits the floor. I mean, that probably wasn't pleasant.
He's trying to tell her to leave. She's hysterical. She keeps making physical contact with a federal officer, which is against the law. If you or I did this to a law enforcement officer...
He's like mid-push, by the way.
We would receive exactly the same treatment. This woman was repeatedly told to leave, to calm down, and she responded by touching this ICE officer several times. And especially right now when federal agents are being attacked constantly, that's not something that you can tolerate. And therefore, in a completely lawful and justified response, the officer pushes the woman back towards a line of uniformed security guards. And
Yeah.
That's all. And then she falls and she fakes some kind of injury. Okay, she wasn't injured. Like, she fell over.
Okay, which is it, Matt? You gotta think about these talking points before you go on air. You fucking idiot. Yeah, dude, she might have been injured. She might have been injured. I mean, she could have been concussed for all we know. Fuck. Yeah, his response was definitely proportionate to her, like, kind of moving her hands around and, like, you know, having to, like, brush him. Like, come on, dude. You really think that that was justified? Of course you do, because you're a fucking lunatic. You like Ice roughing people up because you want to be able to rough people up, but you're too much of a coward to do it.
Big deal. She's fine. And she absolutely had that response coming. She deserved it. That's on her. And that's the whole story.
She deserved getting rammed to the ground, hitting her head on the floor. Because she was distraught that her husband was just taken away from her. Unbelievable. Yeah, this is the party of fucking family values. Yeah, we like to fucking rip families apart, but we care about families. We're going to take away your Medicaid and your SNAP benefits, but we care about families. Oh, God, dude. These people are gross.
So who exactly in the Trump administration authorized that statement to go out blaming the ICE officer? What was the thinking behind it? And whoever was responsible should obviously be fired immediately. The DHS spokeswoman should be gone. Should be publicly fired. And whoever
I mean, she was probably hired because of DEI, right? Because she's a woman.
else was involved should be fired. They are grossly unqualified for their position at best. At worst, they're working for the enemy from within. Now, in this case, within about 48 hours, DHS reportedly backtracked. They've apparently placed this officer back on active duty. But we still need clarity as to how exactly this happened. Actually, the fact that they put him back on duty after 48 hours, somebody I was talking about, I posted about this on X today, and there were people trying to defend the administration saying, oh, no, it's fine. They put him back on duty. That makes it worse. Okay, so they after 2 days, they just put him back on duty. So then why was their first instinct to condemn his behavior? So what you're telling me is that, so they conducted a review and then so before they even reviewed what happened, they put out a statement saying it was unacceptable and beneath the standards of ICE? So you're telling me before there was any review, you had no clue. You hadn't even looked at the video yet. And you just immediately, based on what the media said, you said, oh yeah, well, I mean, if you guys are saying that, clearly it must have been unacceptable behavior. That makes it worse.
Dude, when this happened, all of the video was available. You took one clip from ProPublica, I guess, but there were multiple videos. There were multiple reporters there that showed different angles from the very beginning. So of course they had access to that, you fucking idiot. And yes, he should have been fired and not fucking rehired. You cannot convince me that a woman with her hands, you know, clearly visible, there's clearly no threat to him physically. This woman is like 4 feet tall and you know, very, very tiny. She was not a threat to his life, dude. If you think that she was a threat, you are a fucking little bitch. Oh my God. But I mean, you go around LARPing like you're a fucking lumberjack and shit, dude. Like, oh God, dude. But look, this is what these, you know, conservative influencers, you know, Republicans, you know, by and large, they like to see, you know, I mean, in this case, he wasn't a masked, you know, thug, but in most cases, you know, they're anonymous goons, you know, stormtroopers, roughing up, you know, innocent, undocumented immigrants. Sometimes, you know, American citizens, beating them unconscious in an alley. This is what they want. They don't want any of them to be held accountable. And they like that Trump is, a conduit for their fucking fantasies of being, these alphas that get to rough people up. They fucking live vicariously through these people because they're angry little worms. But we're not allowed to call this fascist. We're not allowed to call masked federal agents rounding up undocumented immigrants, roughing them up, beating them up, fascist. But yeah, guys, I mean, Matt Walsh is a freak. He enjoys this type of stuff. He thinks it's proportional to shove a woman to the ground, making her head hit the floor for barely brushing up against a federal agent. But yes, Matt clearly doesn't promote violence. He really hates to see it. He hates to see it, except he doesn't. He loves it. But anyway, guys, that's enough for me. I've had enough of this fascist. I'm going to call him that. I don't care if I get arrested. Love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.